And let's begin with news coming in of the national capital being on high alert amid a call by farmers to gherav the national capital. The Delhi-Chalo march is slated to take place on February 13th, and ahead of that, the Punjab-Haryana border has been sealed. Farmers have planned from Haryana to gather in large numbers and enter the national capital. The Haryana government thereby has ordered the suspension of mobile internet in 7 districts. Prohibitory orders have also been imposed in Panchkula, adjacent to Chandigarh. There have been repeated efforts by the central government to kind of end the stalemate and ensure there is no protest, because keep in mind, just a few days ago, we saw a similar call by UP farmers who tried to enter from the Noida border into the national capital to gherav the parliament. It led to huge inconveniences for commuters, for locals in Noida and in the national capital. Now we'll have to see what really plays out on February 13th. There are talks underway right now to ensure that this call ends before the protest happens. So security on high alert in the national capital. We understand that also in Haryana, Section 144, which is prohibitory orders, have been imposed by the local administration, fearing that there could be a breakdown of law and order. Remember that these farmers have in fact been protesting, seeking fair compensation. This Delhi-Chalo march is to press for their demands, including a law to guarantee a minimum support price for crops. You had a central team of union ministers, Piyush Goyal, Arjun Munda and Nityanand Rai, who flew down to Chandigarh to reach out to farmer leaders. So far, there's been no breakthrough. I want to take this across to Ashutosh Mishra, who's joining us live with more details on this. Ashutosh, take us through, what's really the situation as far as the talks with the central government is concerned. Has there been any sort of breakthrough? Does it look like the government could succeed in stopping this protest?
Not yet. And we have already seen massive agitation by the farmer unions from different states. And literally the government had to surrender before the assembly elections in 2022. And then the crucial and the critical farm laws were withdrawn. Before I go to Hanan Mullah, who's the vice president of All India Kisan Sabha, let me tell you, this is not the protest which we are seeing being planned is not under the umbrella of Sanjukta Kisan Morcha. So at this stage, all the farmers union of different states are not on board. There are few groups who have called this protest. However, the agenda remains the same. But Hanan Mullah, since there is no Sanjukta Kisan Morcha, which exists, but they are not part of this agitation, but the agenda remains the same. Does it have support of the all umbrella unions as far as the demands of MSP and law on MSP is concerned?
Sanjukta Kisan Morcha, it was a platform of more than 450 organizations. And that led the 384 days gherav of Delhi capital. And ultimately, the government retreated. But they gave written assurance to SKM that they'll talk to us and discuss about MSP, and then electricity bill, then this loan waiver, and this compensation to the family, 750 family martyrs. And all this, they written promise. Then we told, on the basis of we are not withdrawing the movement, we are postponing. On the basis of that, we postponed. But 2 years, the government is sleeping on it. Then we got written a series of letters to President, Prime Minister, Agriculture Minister, made them rally in Ramlila Maidan. All this happened. But unfortunately, government is silent on that. And at that time, then we have a big movement. Then we had a state level governor gherav, governor of the central government. So
also protest at Delhi's Ramlila Maidan.
After that, Ramlila Maidan, then we did 25 state governors we gherav all over India for 3 days, 26, 27, 28 November. Then we All India movement in that way developed. But government did not respond.
Okay,
then
so you've got, in fact, a reaction there coming in from Hanan Mullah saying that there have been repeated steps, warnings given to the government to fulfill their demands, and yet nothing has been done. I want to play out for you the government's version on this. Here's Minister Anurag Thakur.
कृषि के साथ साथ किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने चलाया। किसानों के लिए कल्याण के लिए अनेकों नीतियां लेकर आए। अब तक लगभग 2,80,000 करोड़ रुपया पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि में नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने किसानों के खाते में डाला। पिछले 3-4 साल से 1 रुपया भी यूरिया और खाद के दाम बढ़ने नहीं दिए। केंद्र की ओर से लाखों करोड़ रुपए की सब्सिडी दी, किसान का मुनाफा बढ़े इसके लिए नैनो यूरिया तक लेकर आए, खरीद दुगनी से ज़्यादा की, यूपीए ने जितनी 10 साल में खरीद की उससे दुगनी से ज़्यादा खरीद हमने की और उससे ज़्यादा पैसा भी दिया। ये सारे निर्णय जो है किसानों के हित में है। ई नैम से लेके अब एग्रीकल्चर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड, ये सारा मोदी सरकार की देन है। आगे भी किसानों के लाभ के लिए, उनकी और आमदनी के लिए जो निर्णय होंगे मोदी सरकार लगातार करती रही। स्वामीनाथन कमेटी जी की रिपोर्ट को यूपीए कुछ नहीं किया, ये नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने आके स्वामीनाथन कमेटी की रिपोर्ट को लागू किया है। लागत प्लस 50% और मुनाफा ये मोदी सरकार देती है।
Reaction that's coming from the government, where they've said that repeated efforts have been made to reach out to these protesting farmers. A number of steps have been taken to also ensure that their demands are fulfilled. But there are multiple levels of talks that are taking place. You had Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwat Mann also reaching out to these farmers, saying that an agreement was reached on multiple issues and that hopefully another meeting will be held in which all other pressing demands can be addressed and everything is ironed out. Now, we understand that there could be a slew of farmers who could be gathering, hundreds of them, and will attempt to march to Delhi. Very similar to what we saw, in fact, just a few days ago, when you had a sea of farmers from around 100 villages of Noida and Greater Noida gathering to enter the national capital. This was when Parliament was in session, which is what led to all of them being stopped along the Delhi-Noida border itself. It led, of course, to huge inconveniences for commuters. So hopefully in 2 days from now, when the next protest is planned, the government will ensure that they reach out to the farmers, quell this protest before it happens. We understand that all borders of Haryana with Punjab have been sealed. There are huge barricades that have been put up in place, barbed wires also, to ensure that even days before the actual protest kicks off, there is no way that farmers start gathering in large numbers, which is why also prohibitory orders have been put in place to ensure that people don't gather in large numbers and thereby provoke or instigate farmers to come together. Let's get you more details. We're accessing an intel note now.